Hello, welcome to the Cub Night channel. My name's Shane. I'm going to be doing an auto drawing today, and I'll pull some tarot cards and some wild unknown archetypes as well to clarify afterwards. So today's the 24th of October 2025. I will be connecting to the planet Venus to pull through this message. All right, let's begin. Okay, so this one is very internal. I'm getting intestines, guts, and that made me think instincts as well. So there could be something going on with somebody's organs, especially related to, the intestines, the guts, the digestive system, which, if you follow true sky astrology, we are still in Virgo season, Virgo being a massive constellation. I don't think we come out of it. The sun doesn't leave Virgo until like November 20th or the 22nd, something like that. And Virgo is associated with the digestive system. So that could be something worth looking into if you've been having issues. Don't ignore that. I'm not a doctor, so, always consult medical professionals about that kind of stuff. This is just what seems to be coming through. This reminds me of like intestines or intestinal tracts, what I'm seeing here overall. I got target acquired. What stood out to me is that there's this X right here in the very center of all of this. And, this could be honing in on something specific going on medically with someone, like finally figuring out like, oh my God, this is what's been causing the issue, or this is what we need to look at. We need to dive deeper into this section here. That's kind of what it made me think of. And then from a different perspective, this is actually the first thing I wrote when I looked at this was dragon on the mountaintop, because I'm seeing this like mountaintop here, and then also this dragon that is the mountaintop itself, and it's kind of like encircling all of this side, the right side of the drawing here. And that made me think, it was giving me like final boss vibes. And then I also saw this like abstract arm kind of like flexing, like that's the muscle there. So I put final flex. So this could be kind of the culmination of something that someone's been looking into for a long time. Something very internal, something even like physically related. It seems to be saying there's some kind of like final battle taking place with whatever this is, whether it's a medical issue or something going on with you internally. And then, of course, there's another mask very clearly coming through here, and it's cracked. Just like the last reading I did, I had a mask come through as well, and it was also cracked, but on the opposite side. And with this mask, the facial expression matches what's on the interior here. They're both very solemn, just like stoic looking faces. So I wrote, the mask matches the inside. It's almost like there's this like stability between external and internal versions of self. There's this balance between what is being displayed to the world and what is being felt on the inside. It's giving me like nothing to hide. Like Yeah. And then also there's a 6 right here. I didn't write that down, but I'm seeing it now. There's this 6, or a B, possibly, right on top of the eye. And specifically, this is the left eye. We have to flip it since it's facing us, but the left eye 6, or left eye B, or by, B-I, by. Once again, this idea of like something closing out. The number 6 is about like harmony and balance, love. Yeah, so this could be like a very positive discovery of whatever this is that's going on inside, physically, emotionally, spiritually, however you want to interpret it, whatever rings true for you. But yeah, I'm liking this. This is it feels epic with this like final boss energy, but also like very balanced and full of love in a very epic way. I also got this, I was seeing kind of this like dragon and these other creatures kind of like piled on top of each other, and they all seem to be like emanating from this mask cracking. Like even the crack that I'm seeing in the mask is part of this mountain dragon up here. So it's like this cracking is like releasing these entities. And I wrote many demons released as the mask falls away. So it's like, I don't know. It's giving me this idea of like this external persona that was possibly, taken for the authentic self for a long time has finally been stripped away of all of the artifice that it carried. And now the true internal self, or at least maybe you could even think of this as like a molting of who you once were. Maybe this was true for you at one point in your life, but now there's something new on the inside and it's finally breaking out of its shell. It's finally becoming the mask, right? It's the next mask, the next phase of life that we're entering. And maybe, later on in your life, there will be another molting of this identity into a new one. I'm sure humans change all the time. We are very much like insects and animals, and we shed skin, we shed cells. I think they say your body completely replaces all of its cells every 7 years. So you're basically a new person every 7 years, like physically too. So yeah, this seems to be a massive release of old demons, of things that were holding us back before, preventing us from becoming this next version of self. And they say new levels, new devils, right? So I'm sure this new version of self will come with its own challenges. But that's okay. That's what makes life interesting, right? We're always growing, always changing. So yeah, and then finally I wrote from whence they came. So all of this energy that possibly could have been attached to you from your interactions with others in your life, or from experiences that you've had in the past. It's like this molting of the old persona is allowing that energy to, it's no longer attached to you. It's going back to where it came from, right? Like you're released of whatever this is. Yeah. And then finally I saw this like 4 and a 5. The 4 is kind of sideways, so I took it as like a 4 or an H. So I wrote number 45 or H5. This could be an age, or this reduces to the number 9, which is also associated with Virgo through the Hermit card. The Hermit is the 9th major arcana in the tarot, associated with the sign of Virgo. So once again, this whole theme seems to be heavily influenced by Virgo. So feminine energy, internal. And it's funny, yeah, like it has to do with the insides, right? Something going on. Something internal becoming external, becoming known. Yeah. The H5, I'm not really sure. That could be like a hotel room number or something, an apartment number. I don't know. It doesn't. I'm not getting anything from it. So, all right. For the next section here, this one was interesting. First thing I saw was 74, but it's upside down. It also looks like HC or HL, which made me think of HCl, which is hydrochloride. And I had to look that up because I was like, is HCl hydrochloride? Is that right? And yeah, it is. So I dug a little bit into hydrochloride, and because I was like, well, what is hydrochloride? I don't even really know what they use it for. Apparently, it's very important in the pharmaceutical industry or the manufacture of drugs. So what it does is it makes drugs more bioavailable. Drugs that are poorly soluble, meaning they don't dissolve easily, they don't integrate easily with the body. Hydrochloride can be combined with them to make them more bioavailable, more easily integrated into the body. And not only that, so not only does it make it easier to change the substance for the substance to like dissolve into other things, but it also increases the stability of the substance for storage purposes. So it's like, it's a paradox. It does both. Not only does it make it like easier for it to dissolve, but it makes it easier for it to be stable, like shelf stable as well. I thought that was very interesting. And I noticed this number 74, if you add the 7 and the 4, you get 11, which breaks down to 2, which is all about balance, opposites, you know. And the fact that this hydrochloride kind of has this like dual purpose was interesting to me. That these kind of like, they're part of the same thing. Like the 74 is the HCl that I was seeing. So yeah. It also provides consistent dosage in the forms that it takes on. So it can be used to turn drugs into like tablets, capsules, or injectables. Yeah, I don't think I need to go into any more specifics than that, but basically, this is the huge takeaway I got from this, is that it improves form. So your form is improving. This new persona that is coming out of this former shell, it's like, it's a level up. Yeah, I mean, literally, final boss, final flex energy, like you're overcoming, you're releasing whatever these things that were holding you back were. It's like the mask that you were wearing was the final boss, and you are dissolving it. Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. Hydrochloride. You're literally dissolving it. It was providing you stability. It's twofold. Oh my god. Yeah, the mask is the hydrochloride. It not only provided stability for who you were, but now it is like allowing you to integrate all of the lessons that it provided for you while you were wearing it, right? While it was part of you. It's dissolving. It's dissolving, and it's releasing all these things that were all wrapped up inside of this identity. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Message coming through very strong today. I also saw PM. There's a P here and then a big M. And I saw PMH. I'm not really sure what PMH is, but PM makes me think of nighttime. So there could be a lot of things happening at night for you. Maybe when you're dreaming, especially if you feel like you get enough sleep, but you wake up and you're still tired throughout the day. I definitely feel that a lot. And I've heard some people suggest in the spiritual community that this is because there's a lot going on for your evolution while you're sleeping in the the astral plane. Some people call it the dream world. There's a lot of changes happening there. So this PM is kind of speaking of that to me. I also saw like H-U-H here. Or even hue now. I'm seeing that. I didn't pick up on that before. Hue. Yeah. So it's like this is kind of, it's right below the PM. So it's kind of making me think that like, yeah, you're not aware of what's going on while you're unconscious, right? Like there's a lot of work happening behind the scenes. And even like look, the mask is facing this way, right? And behind it is where all of this release, it's all fading to the west, right? If we look at it this way. And west is the setting sun. What was? It's being released. And the mask is facing to the east, embracing what's new, what's coming out. Yeah, okay. Whew. All right, I'm loving this one. Okay, so, yeah, the speaks to me of this unconscious work that is happening. And then hue is speaking of, it's a transition, right? A hue is just a specific shade of something, right? Like there are many hues of the color green. It's not just green, it's a spectrum. And then eventually it fades into, Roy G. Biv? So yellow before green and then blue after. So there's this like continuum of changes, right? We are, we're adopting a new hue. We're stepping into a new hue. Or hues, maybe more than one. And then finally, for this side, I wrote pain of rejection. And there's not really a specific shape in here that was giving this to me. I just was kind of looking at the whole thing. And that's, this is the phrase that came to my mind, pain of rejection. So abandonment, things like that. And maybe this is what this energy is related to. If you have struggled with abandonment wounds in your life, I sure have, then this is what that's speaking to me. And it seems like you're moving past it. You finally processed it enough to where it can be released and you don't have to feel that way anymore. And I'm not saying that maybe, it's gone forever or that you're completely healed from it. But this seems to be a large release of this pain of rejection. Yeah. All right, and then this side. Here, the first thing I saw was this face here, and then this like stick figure on the inside who seems to be like raising one arm and then firing from the hip with another. And there's all these bullets just like spraying all over the place, and they're kind of going like way over here. There's 3 here. There's some down here, some down here, and so I wrote shots fired. And then unacknowledged, turned away, denial of wrongdoing. So it seems like there's this internal energy inside of this figure that is just like, they're shooting from the hip, just like any and everything. They're not even aiming. They're literally just like spraying bullets everywhere. And whoever is doing this seems to be unaware of it, or at least they're denying that they're projecting this kind of energy. Whatever this may be, the bullets, these could be words, hurtful energies that they are just like projecting into a space or somebody. I'm still seeing this as kind of an internal environment here. And now that I'm looking at it, I'm kind of seeing this like womanly figure here. There's a mouth, head, hair, like a ghostly woman figure, kind of like rising from this more chaotic energy down here. But she's kind of like hovering over this figure, like looking down at them. And the mouth, it's very subtle, but it's not like judgmental at all. It seems like she's just kind of watching what's going on here. That's interesting. So anyway, there's some kind of like somebody putting out harsh energy that they are denying, that they're just like, I'm not doing that. That's not me. I don't know what that is, but I also wrote the evidence is clear. And that's funny because this figure is being watched, right? And then I wrote this because I saw the X again. It's right here. And it's like, it's in the middle of all these bullets being sprayed everywhere. And it's almost like there's something here that is like, okay, you can't deny what you're doing because look, we have the proof. It's right here, right? And this feminine figure, this ghostly feminine figure here seems to be like protecting it in a way. She's like covering it, like preserving it, making sure that, this will be revealed is kind of how I'm seeing that. And then this one, I also was picking up on some kind of internal mass or cancerous energy Once again, not a medical professional. If you feel like you have something like this, please go get checked out by a medical professional. This is just the energy that's coming through that I was picking up on. But it still felt very internal to me, like organs, intestines, things like that. And there's just this kind of like very concentrated dark energy in this section here. And this is where I picked up on that. Yeah, and then finally on this side, I don't really know like how far I can talk about this on YouTube, so I wrote manipulation through bedroom tactics, because there is like a phallic shape right here, and it seems to be tied to this figure up here that is internally shooting out all of this harmful energy. So I don't really know what that's about. It could be somebody like, what's coming to me is like a misuse of creative energy, because phallus represents, the male aspect of creative energy, spiritually speaking. So yeah, it seems like there's some kind of connection between what's going on here and what's going on here. And with all these bullets spraying everywhere and these being tied together, it seems like maybe somebody is not being so careful with their bedroom proclivities, what they're doing with their physical creative energy, sperm. Yeah, I am definitely seeing that now. I wasn't picking up on that before, but I'm seeing that now. Okay. So I'm not really sure what that's about, but it is coming through here. So that could be related to what's going on. Next, on this side, we have N and N, which I saw right here, N, 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 and then a 4 and a D, which I wrote that separately. But immediately I thought, no, no, no. Which again, with this like denial energy, right? No, no, no. Like somebody denying something. And then the 4D, fourth dimension is immediately what I think of, which has to do with time. And then I immediately thought time melds together, because it kind of seems like everything is kind of like melding together here. So there could be some kind of event or something that comes up that kind of makes all of time feel like it's like collapsing in on itself. Some kind of compression of time. And usually that happens when really intense events happen. Like if you've ever been in a car wreck, when you're going through it, it's like time slows down, right? Like time really compresses and everything moves like you're in a movie, like you're in a slow movie scene. It really does happen. It's crazy. Yeah. So I don't know. There could be something about a very intense event that someone experiences, and there's just this like, no, 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 this isn't happening kind of thing coming through. Yeah, okay. So, and then I got a concerned outsider. I saw this face up here. Here's the nose, the eyes, kind of the forehead, and the mouth is kind of like a concerned, not really a frown, but just like a in some ways, it almost looks angry a little bit to me as well, but more of like a concerned anger. Like they could be mad at whatever the situation is, and yeah, I'm not really sure, but that is coming through. And then I wrote thinking with the phallus because, yeah, it's still there. Right, it's right here now, but it's on top of this head with this like person smiling, right? And it's like right on top of their head. So that's what it made me think of is, yeah, somebody is maybe being a little too careless with where they put their stuff. I don't know. And then I saw a quarter note right here. So for all of you musicians, once again, this idea of timing. Quarter notes represent a very specific amount of time within music. So and then, yeah, a note, outside of music is like a message, right? It's something, it's like a beat. Like, it's like Yeah, I don't know. There's some kind of like timing related to a message here. It's very brief, a quarter note. You know, a quarter is 1/4 of something. So it's like, you know, in just a quarter of a span of whatever this is, there seems to be some kind of important message or note coming through. And then finally I saw a kidney, or at least it looks like a kidney bean, and it made me think kidney. And because all of this seems to be internal, I just wrote kidney. So once again, if you're concerned about something going on with you medically, please go get checked out by a medical professional. Yeah. And then I was seeing 4s everywhere. There's a 4 here, there's a 4 here, there's a 4 here. Yeah, they're just all over. There's a 4 here in the 4D. So I just wrote 4, 4, 4, 4. 4 4s. Maybe I should write that. 4 4s. So yeah, I don't know what that is, but 4 times 4 is 16, which reduces to a 7. Yeah. So in the tarot, 16 is the tower, and 7 is the chariot. Both are kind of about movement in some ways. The tower is more like a very dramatic event or an unforeseen event that kind of like throws everything into chaos in some way, an unexpected event. And then 7 is about victory, moving on, heart-led actions, you know, being in tune with your center is what it makes me think of. It can also be related to vehicles. Yeah. The body is a vehicle, right? It's a vehicle for our spirit. So yeah, there's an emphasis on the vehicle here. There's something going on with the body. And I'm not saying that you have anything or that something's wrong with you, but maybe if you are experiencing any sensations in your body, just pay attention to it. Give it some acknowledgement, even if it's just like a minor sore, or like say your back hurts in one specific area, like just lay down and meditate on that, where the pain is, and see what comes up for you. Yeah. Okay. So we're back to the beginning now, and yeah, this has gone on for quite a while already. There's a lot in here. But I will pull some cards. I'll try to keep it short. So I pre-shuffled, and on the bottom we have the temperance here. So number 14 coming through, or 5. Yeah, temperance it's about healing, right? It's about balance, healing, being in tune with the internal and the external. And there's a lot of that here, definitely coming through. Also embracing cycles, new cycles. Yeah. You can see she's literally sitting on the moon with her foot in the water. So there's this idea of reflection, again, like the internal self and the external self mirroring each other. And then 10 of Swords underneath that change. Yeah, there's a big ending here, and that's been coming through on the other readings too, but this one has taken a much different angle than some of the previous readings I've done in the past couple days. This one's very focused on like internal things, like psychologically and physically. So there's something big happening there. And revival, yeah, it's a renewal. Okay, so let me shuffle them a little bit more and see what else wants to come through. Okay, we have the 6 of Wands and Justice. So once again, this idea of balance, and also 6 of Wands is like public victory. So there's something to celebrate here. 7 of Pentacles, results. Yeah, you may have been working on something for a while here, and you're finally starting to see the fruits of your labor. And then the 2 of Swords. So this is 2 of Swords is kind of a card of meditation too, right? It's like you're torn between 2 thoughts or 2 things that won't leave you alone mentally, and you're kind of struggling, but the solution is to stop, pause, right? Go within and think about it. Let your intuition guide you to the answer. And it's not always done in just one session of meditation, right? So, all right, let's see what comes out here. So you got to be patient. It's also a card about being patient. It's a pause. And I did see the Hanged Man before I started shuffling too. So yeah, this idea of pausing and evaluation with the Seven of Pentacles coming out as well. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. My camera battery died. I didn't even realize it was low. But yeah, take it as part of the message. I think one of the last things I was talking about before it died was pausing. So there we go, forced pause. And I had pulled one card before I realized that the camera died, and it was the Five of Swords. So yeah, let me, getting back into the flow of this message. There's a massive release, a dissolving of one mask, and the emergence of another persona, which in turn is also a mask of sorts, right? Yeah, we're always wearing a mask. We're always playing a role. The only time you stop wearing a mask is when you're done with this existence, right? Who knows exactly what comes next, but maybe there are masks in other levels of realities. I don't know. But anyway, so we got the Five of Swords. I'm going to keep going, but there's definitely... Oh, okay, the Fool. All right, so Five of Swords, the Fool. And let me get one more. All right, I'm just going to pull this one. Nine of Cups. Okay. Yeah. And Nine of Wands, so double nines. Nine of Wands on the bottom. Here, let me scooch these over so we can kind of get all of these in here. There we go. Scoot just a little bit. Okay, there we go. There may be some disorientation involved in this process. This stepping into this new identity, persona, way of expression. Because it is definitely a fresh start. It is the beginning of something. The Fool is major arcana energy, so this is very prevalent. A new beginning. And yeah, we just had a new moon a few days ago. So we are literally on the beginning of a new moon cycle. It's in the waxing crescent phase right now, so it's getting brighter, gathering energy. Yeah, and there seems to be a recognition of that ending with the nines being the spiritual fulfillment of a cycle, whereas the tens are to me, they're kind of the cleanup, right, of the cycle. It's the beginning and the end, kind of the blurry transition period. The 10 representing, the culmination and also the beginning of the next cycle. It's kind of like the 0 before the 1 in a way. But 10 is 0 and 1. It's both. So, but I'm feeling a little disoriented here. And maybe that's what this Five of Swords energy is about. Typically, this is about winning at all costs. Underhanded tactics in order to have some kind of perceived victory, even if it ends up hurting others. So there may have been, this could have been a painful new beginning, or it will be a slightly painful new beginning, or at the very least, you'll find that somebody was up to no good. They were doing kind of like shady, underhanded things from the previous cycle. Um, yeah, but we have Perseverance, the Wounded Healer card, Nine of Wands, and then Nine of Cups, Satisfaction. So it seems like even despite the awareness of this energy, everything's fine. Like you're still starting this new cycle, and it appears to be a very powerful one. So I do want to ask a little bit more about this Five of Swords, though, because I'm not really... It's kind of mysterious. It feels mysterious. What is this Five of Swords about, please? Okay, got a couple things coming out there. Knight of Wands on the bottom, the Hierophant, and the King of Cups came out together and landed like right underneath it. Yeah, so... There is this energy of like higher guidance, this like higher emotional perspective, emotionally grounded perspective over whatever this was. And then, underneath we have the Knight of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so there's a lot. There's like three characters here: the Queen of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, the King of Cups. And the Hierophant traditionally depicts three characters as well. So it's almost like this King of Cups is kind of acting as the like priest on the Hierophant card, and then you have this Knight of Wands and Queen of Pentacles being like given something or ministered to in a way. But it's in kind of a controversial way. It's in like a non-traditional way. What's under the Queen? Let's see. A Page of Wands. Oh my god. Okay, there's so many people here. It gets really complex when a lot of other like court cards enter the scene. But this could be like a revelation around a child? Some kind of controversial scenario regarding a child. And the Queen of Pentacles can sometimes be seen as like a pregnancy card as well. And I have been picking up on that on like almost every single reading I've done for a while now. There's a rabbit here too. That was in one of my last auto drawings. There was like rabbit slippers. And look, the rabbit is kind of close to her feet. That's interesting. Yeah, rabbits can represent procreation since they are very good at multiplying. So this is another nod to that like pregnancy vibe here. I feel like the Knight of Wands can kind of be seen as a very turned on person. It literally says a force of nature. Yeah, like very much guided by their genitals, which that did show up here in the drawing. I feel like that's what this is picking up on. It's like this culmination results in the knowledge of something regarding a pregnancy, possibly a new child. It says new ideas. This could also be very related to creative processes within oneself. If you're not seeing this story play out for you or the people around you, then yeah, that could be very much an energetic story of like maybe there was some controversy surrounding the way in which you were approaching your new projects, your new ideas. Perhaps you were being a little like underhanded about the way you were approaching it, or at least trying not like giving all the details to everyone, which is not a bad thing. I don't think that's, you have to be discerning, right? Um, you have to protect, like Queen of Wands, right? You have to protect your ideas, your value, the valuable things within you. So this very well on a purely energetic level from the lens of creativity could be about charging forward with new ideas and nurturing them, being emotionally balanced throughout the process, receiving guidance from your higher forces, your you could call it your spirit team or God or whatever, the universe, whatever you want to call it, but whatever you see as the mysterious guiding force within your life. Yeah. Okay, so maybe, yeah, I don't know. I do feel there is probably some storyline of a kind of hidden pregnancy situation going on, because I've just been picking up on that a lot. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Now, I believe when I had drawn that card, I was asking... honestly, I don't remember. I think it was about the target that was acquired. That's kind of funny, because if it is related to a pregnancy, then it's like, yeah, the egg is inseminated, target acquired. That's funny. Okay. Yeah. Also, something is not funny, because I have pre-shuffled these archetype cards, and on the bottom is the comic, and it's like, this one, it's obviously upside down, right? Because the cat wearing the party hat is upside down. So it's like, I mean, that in itself could be seen as funny. So it's like, it's almost like something is funny, but also not funny. Like, it has serious consequences is the vibe I'm picking up from this. Oh, and then the lover right underneath that, yeah. This is actually, it's about expression, like expressing one's true authentic self. But also, that connotation is there of love, of connection. Let's see, we'll go one deeper. The mountain. Okay, yeah. And it's kind of like sideways. What I'm drawn to here is this figure going inside the mountain. It's like this internal energy again, and all of this creative energy inside the mountain there. And, what's inside mountains? Well, precious minerals and gems, stones, rare earth materials. Yeah. Mining for gold comes to mind. And look, there's gold right in the center of this and along the edges of the lover card here. I'm kind of getting this side message here of like, there's this element of humor present in self-expression as you're like going deep within, looking for the gold within the parts of you that you are willing to share with the world because you feel they have value. But also this like lightness about it. But also recognizing that like, yes, it is very important. Like, we can laugh about it, we can have fun with it, but also it's everything. It means everything at the same time. That's really fun, actually. Kind of makes me think of this King of Cups, like just being emotionally balanced about the situation, realizing that, yes, everything is important and everything has value and deep, 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 deep meaning, but also fun is part of that equation. Levity, a lightness of the heart. Yeah. By recognizing that everything has inherent value and layers of meaning, you can also kind of give yourself a break about it, right? You know that it's important, so you can choose to enjoy it, right? Treat it with love and compassion and lightheartedness and fun. Yeah. Because, right, that's what everybody wants in their life is some fun, some good times. All right, let's see. What is this dragon on the mountaintop? Oh, I didn't even... Yeah, the mountaintop. And the mountain was 3 cards deep in this. Look at that, the mountain. Dragon on the mountaintop. Yeah. Okay. There's something cooking here. What is this dragon on the mountaintop? It feels like a heaviness, but also dragons represent like ancient power and create like the creative force. You know, often associated with fire. Fire being the creative element. One of the creative elements, fire and water. I mean, they're all creative, but you know, it's like passionate creativity. All right. Let's pull some cards for this Dragon Mountain. 3 of Swords. Oh, okay. So there is heaviness. The Fool again. And the Chariot. Okay. Yeah. And the Ace of Pentacles on the bottom. All right. Let's scoot these over and make room for this. So, yeah, this Dragon Mountain, this this final boss, it's already defeated. The Chariot is victory and forward movement. The Fool is the beginning of a new cycle. The 3 of Swords is sorrow, mostly related to like thoughts. It's very much like a grief associated with what you are thinking about. And we have a new venture here. This goes with the Fool, but there's some kind of physicality to it. And 10 of Cups underneath that, harmony. And unity, 2 of Cups. Okay. All right, let's not go too far. So, yeah, it's over. It seems like this Dragon on the Mountain was related to a story that you would tell yourself that would make you feel down in the dumps, heartbroken. The 3 of Swords is the heartbreak card. There's kind of this like massive release of this sorrow, this regret or heartbreak or grief that was stored in the heart. You let it go. You've moved forward from it. You've got 2 new cards indicating a new beginning, and then the victory card, the Chariot. Yeah. That's wonderful. Okay. Yeah, and maybe that's what this final flex is about, right? You beat the boss, so now you're flexing about it. You're feeling good, accomplished. Moving on up, right? Let's see. Is there anything else that we should dig into here? I think the hydrochloride message was pretty clear. Oh, this pain of rejection. It was about abandonment, that sorrow. This final boss. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I need to dig any deeper on that. Let's see. Oh, here we go. That's right. There's this other figure here. I was kind of... What is this figure related to, like, shots fired and denial related to? What is that about? Oh, okay. So we got 4 of Cups. Okay, I'll just draw the last 2. 4 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles, and Four of Wands. Page of Wands on the bottom. Okay, there's that same child from earlier. Page of Wands coming out again. Yeah, and the Four of Cups is literally the card of denial. Traditionally, it's a person sitting with their arms folded underneath the tree, and a cup is being handed to them literally by the hand of God, and they're just like sitting there. And this is one interpretation of it. You could also see it as like a card of meditation, contemplation, that kind of thing. It literally says contemplation on this one, but the vibes I'm getting here is the denial, the refusal of something. There is financial or possibly even like physical loss, like sickness. Five of Pentacles is associated with sickness and financial loss. And then the Four of Wands is about, it's kind of like the party card, but it's also a card of home. Like it depicts like a homecoming or a going away from home. And the fours are all about stability, four walls, that kind of thing. It's like it's a house. And here we have this same page coming out again, and there's another Four of Swords. Sanctuary, once again, speaking of a home, right? Homes are typically places of rest and recovery. For people, it is their sanctuary. Yeah. The evidence is clear. Somebody's pregnant. Somebody is having a kid. Somebody did something. It feels shady, and now someone is pregnant. Yeah, and there's this element of loss associated with it. I mean, obviously, kids are expensive. Like, takes a lot of money to raise a child. So somebody's in denial about this. From a solo creative perspective, this could be like a ponderance of what has not worked so far, what has like kept you feeling on the outs with your new ideas, your new creative pursuits. And it seems like this could lead to a victory of sorts, of celebration. So yeah, take it as it fits for you and the people in your life. But I don't think there's really much else I need to say about that one. I am curious about this. And yeah, manipulation through bedroom tactics. There was something shady going on here, and now someone is having a baby. All right. This internal mass or Cancer, what is that about? Okay. We have the Tower. Okay. We have the King of Pentacles. And we have the Four of Pentacles with Judgment on the bottom. Okay. This definitely has something to do with the body. Fours are stable structures, could also represent the body. Four of Pentacles, and traditionally it depicts a king-like figure, much like the King of Pentacles, kind of clutching a pentacle over his stomach. And this whole drawing has been about something going on in the stomach, or at least in the core of the body, the torso area. So the Tower in Judgment, it says inner calling. This is something to do with the inside. Like I said, if you even have the slightest inkling that something's going on inside you or someone you know, seek medical advice, medical opinions from professionals. I don't know. I don't know. You know, I don't want stuff like this to come up, but it did, and I didn't want to ignore it because it could be something somebody needs to hear in order to take action, in order to get ahead of something before it becomes worse than it is. So take it as it fits for you, but that's definitely the energy that's coming out here. Yeah. Ace of Wands and the Magician underneath Judgment. So there's a growth. It's like, yeah, Wands are about growth, and this is like a new growth. The Magician, creative energy. So like something is manifesting, something is getting bigger, becoming more apparent. Yeah, okay. I don't want to harp on that too much, but yes, health is important. Pay attention to your body. Listen to what it's telling you. And if it's screaming at you, then please don't ignore it. Not a doctor. Seek medical professional advice. Okay. Finally, let's take a look at this side. Okay, there's this denial energy still present on this side. Time melts together. Okay, that was interesting. Hey, look, we had the 16 and the 7th tower and the chariot have come out in this reading. And again, I saw this kidney bean here, so yeah. Like I said, don't ignore your body. Listen to your body, please. Okay, what is this? What is this time melds together about? What is that about? I'm going to give it a little bit of a shuffle. Hierophant, Page of Pentacles. Yeah, something physical is revealed. The Hanged Man, a pause. Some kind of setback. Some kind of new perspective is required. Okay, let's see what comes out. Oh, okay. The World. Wow, okay. All right, so we had a lot fall out right there. We got the Queen of Swords, Ace of Wands is coming out again, the World. So beginning and an end, Six of Wands, the Empress. Time melts together. Okay, composure, perseverance. Somebody's got to be strong. It seems like there's a good outcome. The Ace of Cups underneath the Nine of Wands, and we've got the Ace of Wands here and the Six of Wands. So lots of cards of like victory and success, new beginnings. The World, major culmination. The World and the Empress. This is, yeah. Something is being brought into the world. I'm telling you, somebody's pregnant. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. There's victory in this, though. There's something to be joyful about, but it's going to require strength and perseverance, composure, a clear head. Like, this ain't going to be easy, whatever the situation is. But it is like, yeah, it's a major completion and a very awesome new beginning. Okay. So, yeah, it's, time melds together. We have a beginning and an end. Something new and a completion. And there's like victory in this. There's public recognition, or at least like within your social circle, recognition of a reason to celebrate, a reason to be happy about something. Okay. So I think that's all I need right there. This has already gone on a lot longer than I intended it to, but this message seems to be very potent. So I'm going to get some advice before we close it out, because that's always nice. What is the advice for this time melding transition that appears to be happening? What is the advice? Okay, the Hermit. Alright, and I'm just going to pull 2 more. The Hermit, Knight of Wands, and the 7 of Wands. Okay. And the Sun on the bottom. Hey, look at that. Success. Joy, clarity. Oh, okay. And then let me grab some of these as well before I go too deep into this. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. We have the dead end landing right on the Sun there. Yeah, maybe you can see that. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, something is definitely coming to an end. But there is a sunrise right above it. Okay. Let's see. Just gonna grab 2 more of these. All right. The tear kind of upside down coming through here. Yeah, this is like, I don't know. I'm hearing like tears from heaven. Like this may seem, whatever this is, initially it might seem like a very bad situation, but it ends up being something absolutely wonderful in the end. Okay, and we have the prayer and the venom. Yeah, okay. The top of this venom card, the fangs are pointing west. So it's like, it's almost like, the worst is almost over. And this one is kind of like rotating in from the east. So the prayers, the wishes, the things you asked for help, it's like they're coming into view now. This like defensiveness of your creative passions, this time of like being kind of on your own, really going deep within, it's like all of this work, all of these prayers, all of this help that you've been needing, it's like it's coming to light. Like you've gone as far as you can go here, and it's time for a new cycle. It's time for whatever has been holding the change back to get out of the way, to make room for the new sunrise. However dark the ending may seem, like, the sun will rise again. Yeah, okay, that's beautiful. Yeah, 5 of Swords underneath the sun, 6 of Wands. So these are coming out again. The sun. It's almost like, victory over whatever this 5 of Swords operation was. The world again. Okay. All right, I need to stop there. So, yeah, pretty wild energy. It has been feeling very intense lately, I'll tell you that much. And there seems to be a lot that is coming to the surface. Yeah. So I wish you the best in however this plays out for you. Thank you so much for being here with me. Take care of yourselves. Keep your heart open. Bye.